Hi there, welcome back to another Walking Dead inspired miniature tutorial. Today we're going to make Rick's Colt Python. This gun is his signature weapon of choice and has been with him since the very beginning. Let's get started. The first thing you need is a jumbo popsicle stick. You just need one. Draw two lines to create a section that's just under an inch in height. Then add another line a quarter of an inch below that first line. This gives us two sections as guidelines. In the top smaller section, draw a curved line. In the bottom section, make a small vertical mark and then curve it out to the bottom. On the left side, just freehand the underside of the gun. Make sure to sketch out where the trigger will be located. Then make a small rectangle for where the gun cylinder will be. I carefully cut on those markings with an X-Acto knife. Once that's done, trace the cutout and make a duplicate. To make the cylinder, grab a thick skewer and cut out a quarter-inch section. I'm using a miter handsaw here to get a nice clean cut. Then using a mini hand drill, I make a hole through the center of the cylinder. You want to drill all the way to the other side. With some thin 28 gauge jewelry wire, cut out a small piece and thread it through the hole in the cylinder. This contraption will allow the cylinder to spin and make our miniature just a little bit more interesting. I then bend the ends of the wire to keep the cylinder in place. With some E6000 glue, I glue the wire to one of the cutouts that we made. Check to make sure the cylinder can still spin easily. Once that's dry, I add some wood glue to the wood area and stack the second cutout on top of it. Use some binder clips to clamp the pieces together and wait for the glue to dry. Then sand down the entire finished piece to make it nice and smooth. This will be the main body of our gun. To make the barrel of the gun, grab a thin wooden skewer and cut out a 1-inch piece. Using the mini hand drill, I drill a hole in the center of the barrel. I then use a thin drill bit to widen that hole. Drill as deep as you can without breaking the piece. Then I grab a toothpick and sand it down to make it thinner. I measure a piece that's just a little bit shorter than the barrel and cut that out. Glue that to the bottom of the barrel with some wood glue. Then with a wooden coffee stirrer, I cut off the round end piece. I sketch out a thin segment with a triangular point in the front. Cut that out. On the bottom of that piece, make 3 notches and cut those out. Then glue that piece to the top of the barrel. Glue this entire piece to the main body of the gun. Now it's finally coming together. To make the trigger piece, I soak a coffee stirrer in hot water for about an hour. Then I gently bend the wood to create a curve. Do this slowly so you don't snap the wood. Clamp it with a binder clip and wait for it to dry. Measure that piece against the gun to see how much you need to cut off. Make sure you keep the cut off pieces because we'll be using those as well. Use wood glue to adhere that curved piece to the gun. With the cut-off piece we kept, file down the curved end so it's pointy. Cut out a thin section and glue that on as the trigger. Cut another section and glue it to the back of the gun too. With some metallic silver spray paint, give it 2 coats and let it dry overnight. Once that's dry, trace the handle area onto a spare popsicle stick. Cut that out and sand it until it's smooth. Then draw a curve on the top of the piece and sand that area until it's pretty thin. Make 2 of these and glue them to the handle of the gun. You'll want to scrape off some of the spray paint so that the glue sticks to the actual wood and not the paint itself. I use super glue for this. Using some brown acrylic paint diluted with water, I stained the bare handles. At this point, I realized that I didn't like the way that the handles looked, so I decided to sand down all the paint around the handle area and paint it brown. Now that looks much better. To give the handle a nice sheen, I add on a thick coat of polyacrylic varnish. Just making sure the cylinder still spins. For the final touch, I add on a dot of gold metallic paint to the handle. And there you have it, Rick's Colt Python. This is the perfect addition to the miniature Walking Dead weapons family. Make sure you check out how to make the whole collection on my channel. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and make sure to subscribe for more. See you next Tuesday. Bye!